All right, so today we're diving into a world where football, it's not a game of flair. It's a brutal test of survival. I mean, you gotta forget everything you know about perfect green pitches and super light kits. We're going to the heart of the Northern Mountains to uncover a sport that totally redefines what it means to win. This is Norraska ball. So that quote, that's not just some old saying up there. It's everything. It's the core philosophy of the whole game. It's all about this unyielding endurance. See, true strength isn't about just getting through the storm. It's about being the one thing left standing after the storm has completely blown itself out. And this right here, this is the key. You've got to get this. In Norraska ball, you're not just playing against the other team. Oh, no. You're battling the ground itself, the frozen earth, the wind that just cuts right through you, the relentless cold. The environment isn't just where you play. It's a player, a very, very tough player. Okay, so to really get this game, you have to get the mindset first. The whole identity of this sport is built on one simple, unshakable idea. The mountain doesn't bend for you. Not ever. So you have to become just as tough, just as resilient as the mountain. And because of that, success in a basketball it looks different. It's not about the flashy goals, the stuff you see on highlight reels. It's all about substance, strength, control, endurance. That's what matters. A gritty, hard-fought, kind of ugly 1-0 win, that's a badge of honor. It proves your team has grit. But a crazy 4-2 game, to them, that just looks like chaos, a total lack of control. And there's one player who embodies this whole philosophy better than anyone. He's really the center of our story today. His name is Kajo. He's basically the mountain in human form, the absolute rock of his team, the Kazoran Stonewolves. Just look at his stats for a second. They tell such a cool story. I mean, perfect 10s in endurance and cold resistance, almost perfect in strength, but then you see his sprint speed, a 6.5. This guy isn't built to outrun anybody. He's built to outlast them. There's this great quote from a coach who said, when everyone else is gassed, Quadas is still just breathing evenly. So his position, it's called an anchor striker. It's a role that could only exist here. He's not the guy chasing down through balls. He waits. His entire job is to be an immovable object, to just soak up all the pressure, grind the game to a halt, and then, only when the other team is totally exhausted, he turns their fatigue into a goal. And this idea of function over form, it extends to everything, even the uniform. This isn't for show, it's basically armor. We're talking thick trousers, not shorts. The shoulders are reinforced because of all the physical contact. The boots? Heavy leather, made for gripping ice, not for sprinting. Literally every single piece of this kit is designed for one thing, survival. But it's not just about the players being built for this world. Let's talk about the field itself. Because in Norraska ball, the pitch isn't just some neutral patch of ground. No way. It's an active opponent. It's like a character in the game, and it has its own plans. And look at this stuff. These aren't just random features. They're tactical weapons. Teams learn to use them. A patch of ice isn't just a hazard to be avoided. It's a frost trap you can lure an opponent into. The uneven ground, the snow drifts, they're advantages if you know how to use them. Even the ball is different. It's called the Korin, and it's made for this environment. It's heavier than a standard ball, so it just drops out of the air, it doesn't glide, and man, does it roll unpredictably on frozen ground. So you can forget about a delicate passing game. You have to manhandle this thing with pure strength. Okay, so you've got the philosophy, you've got the start player, and you've got this insane pitch. It all comes together in this legendary rivalry. Quahazo Stonewolves versus a team from the coast, the Upper Coast Flamehawks. And really, it's a battle of philosophies. The cold, stubborn mountain against the fast-flowing coast. It's a total clash of styles. The Flamehawks, they want to win with speed and fancy footwork. The Stonewolves, they want to drag you into a dogfight, a brutal test of will. It's like one team wants to run a sprint, and the other wants to run a marathon in a blizzard. So early in the match, the Flamehawks do exactly what the Stonewolves want them to do. They press high, they run everywhere, they try to force the pace, and you hear the commentator just say it, plain and simple. That's a mistake. They're just burning through fuel they're absolutely going to need later. And this is how Quazo stops them in their tracks. It's called the Scanahold. He just pins the ball under his foot. And he stands there, absorbing challenge after challenge from frustrated players, just grinding the game down to his preferred speed. It looks like he's doing nothing, But really, it's an act of total soul-crushing dominance. And that kind of control, it doesn't just happen. They drill this stuff relentlessly. The whole point of this training exercise you see here is to make getting absolutely battered feel normal, to teach a player how to be calm when all hell is breaking loose around him. Then, the second half kicks off and the mountain takes over. The wind picks up, the snow gets thicker, and you can just see the energy draining from the Flamehawks. And now? Now Kazo starts to move forward. He's not just playing anymore. He's hunting. He's using every icy patch, every bump in the ground that he knows like the back of his hand to just pick his opponents apart. You see two defenders close in on him. Then a third. They all hit him, but he just keeps going. The commentator's voice just nails the moment. It's full of awe. He just says, and he's still moving. It's incredible. Kazo just plows right through them. He takes one more step, a low, hard shot. It's not a beautiful goal. The ball just kind of crawls through a mess of tired legs and trickles over the line. But it counts. And just like that, the game is over. But what happens next is maybe the most telling part of this whole story. There's no screaming, no crazy celebration. Why? Because the goal wasn't a surprise. It was inevitable. It was just the logical end to a perfectly executed plan. He just gives a single nod and walks back to his position. Job done. So what's the big takeaway from a win like this? I mean, it's so much more than just the final score. It's a validation of their entire way of life, a whole philosophy that was just proven right there on that frozen field. Up in the mountains, they don't just remember their victories. They carve them into stone. And that tradition, man, it just perfectly captures how permanent and hard-won their success is. That result is now literally a part of the landscape, a testament to their strength. This final quote here just sums it all up perfectly. Katazo's goal, it wasn't an act of aggression against his opponent or the ground. Not really. It was an act of patience, of deep understanding. He just waited for that one perfect moment when the weather, the other team's exhaustion, and his own strength all lined up perfectly. And that kind of leaves us with one last thing to think about. You know, we live in a world that's obsessed with speed, with flair, with getting results right now. But the story of Norraska, the story of Keizo, it offers something else. It shows us the quiet, unshakable, and in the end, totally decisive power of just enduring, of simply being the stone that's still there after the storm has passed.